Ever wonder what a party looks like when the budget is unlimited? What kind of secrets are whispered when a guest list is vetted more strictly than CIA recruits, and the NDAs could bankrupt a small nation? Forget exclusive. We're talking about a level of extravagance so extreme it's practically a state secret. Welcome to Monaco, the gilded fortress where the world's richest players don't just live, they reign. The Billionaires Fortress. Before we check out the game, you've got to understand the playground. Monaco isn't really a country, it's a concept. A 2-square-kilometer jewel on the French Riviera where the background noise is the purr of supercars and the glint of mega-yachts can probably be seen from space. This place was basically a broke principality back in the 1800s until it made a legendary gamble. In 1863, it opened the Monte Carlo Casino, a marble-halled masterpiece that became an instant magnet for Europe's aristocrats by offering them the one thing they loved more than titles: zero income tax. The real turning point, though, was in 1956 when Hollywood royalty Grace Kelly married Prince Rainier III, turning this quiet tax haven into a global icon for glamour and wealth. Today, that legacy is on steroids. With no income tax and apartments that will set you back a cool $20 million, it's a certified billionaire sanctuary. But it's the security that's truly insane. This place has one police officer for every 100 residents, a 24/7 video surveillance system that covers the entire principality, and ex-special forces guards at every club. Privacy isn't just a preference here, it's a commodity enforced by ironclad NDAs that silence whispers about everything from billion-dollar art scams to shady yacht deals. In Monaco, money doesn't just talk, it buys silence. It's the Chemical King and his kingdom. So who are the kings of this castle? Let's start with a guy who literally plays with the building blocks of the modern world, Sir Jim Ratcliffe. With a fortune of around $16.5 billion, this guy is the definition of a titan. His company Ineos is a chemical Goliath, pulling in billions a year, making the plastics and fuels that run, well, pretty much everything. But it's his life in Monaco that really tells the story. He operates out of a $150 million cliffside estate that looks more like a villain's lair from a Bond movie than a home. When he's not striking billion-dollar deals, he's pouring his money into his passions, like owning the OGC Nice football club and a stake in the Mercedes-AMG Petronas F1 team. His $250 million mega yacht, the Hampshire Tubby, is a regular at the Grand Prix, hosting summits with other tycoons that are so exclusive, the guest list is probably insured for $1 billion. This is a man who wanted to buy Manchester United, one of the biggest football clubs in the world, and after a long, drawn-out battle, actually did it. His world is a reactor of power and influence, where he's not just living in Monaco, he's a massive part of its high-stakes, high-octane ecosystem, the shipping czar and his floating empire, from the man who makes the fuel to the man who ships it across the globe. If you want to understand power in Monaco, you have to look at the port, and parked there, you'll likely find a vessel belonging to Eyal Ofer. This guy is a maritime titan steering a staggering $9.8 billion fortune built on the high seas. His Zodiac Group is one of the largest private shipping companies in the world, with a fleet of over 180 vessels that move hundreds of millions of dollars in goods every single year. But his empire isn't just floating. His real estate portfolio is just as massive, with hundreds of millions in properties from London to, of course, Monaco. His $90 million villa is a central hub for deals, but it's his $150 million mega yacht, the Olivia O, that becomes the real center of the universe during the Grand Prix. Think of it as a floating palace where a $10 million party is just a casual Tuesday. He's been spotted hosting Jeff Bezos on board, signing contracts mid-air in his helicopter, and generally commanding the waves like a modern-day Poseidon. For guys like Ofer, the ocean isn't a barrier, it's a chessboard, and he's playing it for keeps. The heiress of high fashion. Not all of Monaco's elite are self-made titans of industry. Some are just built different. Enter Tatiana Casiraghi, a woman who embodies the fusion of dynastic wealth and royal glamour. With a cool $2 billion fortune, she's not just married to Monegasque royalty, Andrea Casiraghi, Grace Kelly's grandson. She's an heiress in her own right. Her grandfather was the legendary Colombian beer baron Julio Mario Santo Domingo, meaning she was born into a river of money long before she ever saw a palace. So what does she do with all that cash? Instead of just kicking back, she channeled her family's brewing and inheritance into the world of high fashion, co-founding the ethical label Muzungu Sisters. It's a venture that champions artisanal crafts from around the globe, proving you can run a multi-million-dollar fashion brand while still having a soul. From her $30 million penthouse that conveniently overlooks the Monaco Yacht Club, she operates as one of the Principality's ultimate tastemakers. She curates $5 million art festivals and hosts $2 million charity galas that draw an A-list crowd so exclusive it makes the Oscars look like a public access show. With a reported $40 million yacht for Grand Prix parties and a vault of $10 million jewels, she navigates the world of the ultra-rich with a poise that only comes from a life lived at the apex of power and style. The party of the century, every weekend. Eyal Ofer's yacht parties are legendary, but they're just the tip of the iceberg. The social scene in Monaco isn't about being seen. It's about proving you have the power to stay completely hidden. These aren't just parties, they are multi-million-dollar spectacles hosted in secret villas, on untouchable yachts, and in private clubs guarded like nuclear launch sites. Take the Villa La Leopolda, a $500 million estate that once hosted a bash rumored to have cost $10 million over 3 nights. The hosts flew in $2 million worth of orchids from Thailand, and the 500 elite guests were treated to a private concert by Beyoncé, who probably charged a cool $3 million for the set. Before you even get through the door, you're signing a $5 million NDA and locking your phone in a specialized Faraday cage to block any signals. The Grand Prix yacht scene is a universe unto itself, a $2 billion circus where hundreds of mega-yachts host the world's most powerful people. At one party in 2024, $20 million in art was auctioned off between champagne toasts, including original Warhols. The themes are just insane. One host threw an $8 million Arabian Nights party, turning their $100 million villa into a desert by importing $2 million worth of actual sand from the Sahara. Someone even whispered that they flew in camels for the occasion. This is a world where money isn't an object, it's ammunition in a war of one-upmanship, where every dollar is spent to buy splendor and, most importantly, absolute secrecy. The artful high roller. When you're auctioning off Picassos like party favors, you're bound to run into David Nahmad. With a fortune of $2.5 billion, Nahmad is the undisputed king of the art world, a master dealer who treats masterpieces like poker chips. His family's collection is one of the largest and most valuable in the world, boasting around 3,000 paintings, including over 300 Picassos, stored in a tax-free warehouse right by the Geneva airport. His $50 million villa in the Larvotto district of Monaco is basically a private museum, a fortress of culture where he orchestrates deals that can shake the art market to its core. He's a legend, but his world is also filled with peril. He's had to dodge forgery scares and navigate complex legal battles, like the multi-year fight over a Modigliani painting that was allegedly looted by Nazis during World War II. He eventually won the case, but it just goes to show the kind of high-stakes game he's playing. In 2024, the sale of one of his Monet paintings sparked a frenzy, generating 50 million views online. For Nahmad, art isn't just paint on a canvas, it's a currency, a passion, and a brilliant high-stakes gamble, the prescription kingpin. From the art that adorns the walls to the science that keeps these titans ticking, our next player proves that you don't have to be flashy to be powerful. Stefano Pessina, the man behind the Walgreens Boots Alliance, is a pharmaceutical colossus with a $12 billion empire. He's the guy who orchestrated the massive merger that created the global pharmacy giant, netting hundreds of millions a year. His approach is less about flash and more about quiet dominance. His $20 million seaside mansion in Monaco is a hub for power dinners, and he's a huge patron of the arts, with a personal collection that includes priceless Warhols. But his real power lies in his influence over global health. He's funded tens of millions in medical research for diseases like cancer, making him a healer on a global scale. And yes, he still enjoys the Monaco perks. His $200 million yacht is a staple at the F1 parties, and his charity balls raise tens of millions for noble causes, drawing a guest list of royalty and CEOs. Pessina proves that in Monaco, even the man selling you prescriptions can be living a life more lavish than a king. The unbreakable code of silence. So how does this all stay under wraps? The answer is a veil of secrecy so thick it makes the Illuminati look like an open book. The currency that truly matters in Monaco isn't the euro, it's silence, and it's protected by a system that's nothing short of military grade. The NDAs are the first line of defense, with penalties starting at $5 million for even the smallest leak. Chefs, guards, entertainers, everyone signs or they don't get in. A waiter who allegedly leaked a single photo from a party in 2024 didn't just get fired. His career was reportedly over, blacklisted from the entire industry. The security is a fortress within a fortress. We're talking ex-special forces teams, facial scanners at villa gates, and signal jammers to block any unauthorized transmissions. But even this fortress has cracks. The dark side of all this wealth is a constant hum of scandal. A $1 billion art fraud investigation was tied to a gala in 2023, and royal paternity suits have spilled into the public despite multi-million-dollar hush funds. The biggest shockwave came in 2022 when sanctions forced Monaco to freeze over $2 billion worth of assets and yachts belonging to Russian oligarchs, proving that not even this playground is beyond the reach of global politics. It was a stark reminder that in this world of untouchable glamour and infinite wealth, the rules of the real world can still occasionally come crashing in.